All right. Again, training for locked shoulders and elbows to my center meridian line, my navel, belly button, trying to get elbows to the center of my belly button in order to lock the shoulder. Also back in what I call lat grabs to break his posture. So I want to get his head and break his posture, get his back and break his posture. Not so much looking for hands to the mat as one of the goals of the guard, but getting his elbows to my center and attacking arm locks. James is an awesome student. Been with me since we opened up here in Fort Myers, Florida, about 6 weeks ago. He's a gentleman in his 50s. It's a purple belt. A lot shorter than me, so I'm able to get his over the back grips a lot. I can also tell he doesn't block the hands much, you'll see. But I have a circular looped grip around his head and arm when I grab my leg like that. It helps me to relax my leg, but also break his posture. And I used it to bait a locked shoulder on the far side. I like to have my knee against the ear in the locked shoulder. They're either going to go out and be in a triangle or come in and be in an arm bar. So we'll see what I turn this into here. I'm just reinforcing my knee. I have an IT band issue. See, I frame my arm on the leg so it can't slam my knee to the ground. I'll do that in different positions, jiu-jitsu, especially half guard. And I'm going to go for, I think, a Barada Plata with this grip. I've overhooked his arm. I'm going to start to attack James in different ways that I don't attack the white belt. Start hitting him with more techniques. I tip him over. Try to go for the arm lock and sweep. Don't want to really come up. I have a bad leg there. And the name of the game is to submit him from my guard. So technically I lost that one. I want to get that elbow to my center line again and try to break his posture in order to attack his arms. He lets me grab his head right away. I'm going to work on that. Pretty much my arms are grabbing his arms and his back and his head unanswered. I'm able to do a basic triangle shot. So teacher to student will have to work on his hand fighting and head position and looking up and posture. I'm able to go for the triangle here, pulling his head. He's got to hand fight more when you're in the guard. You're going to have to not let someone grab over your back and your head and bring your elbows to the center. So hopefully he starts hand fighting here. So he's got his hands on my stomach, but now he starts to grab my arms. But his job is to pass the guard. My job is to submit him from the guard. So bringing my knees to my chest, I start to grab over the back, going for a pendulum type sweep. This gets his shoulder locked or swept or an arm bar. I don't want to sweep him. One, because of the knee injury. Two, because it's not the name of the game. I'm supposed to tap him from my back. He knows that as well, so I bring him back to guard. He's slumped over. He's got to keep his posture better. We're going to have lots of lessons learned on this game right here. But I shoot for another triangle, trying to lock that shoulder. I'm holding onto the opposite wrist of the one that I'm locking, though, so you can tell that I'm grabbing one and using my legs to attack the other. Start climbing the high guard on his back, chasing the locked shoulder again, shot a triangle. That's not the name of the game, though. Come back into my guard. So I set up playing butterfly. Again, I want to submit him from my guard, so I don't want to just sweep him, so I'm going to try and chase a little bit of a sub here. Got that lat grab. Going to try and go for a switch. I fake a switch into a Kimura. It's one of my favorite. And then I start to use my hooks. I pause for a second because it really depends on what he does. I've got him at a distance with my knees. You can't really see in this position. I can build my base like I'm doing. I come over into a crucifix. It's a bummer you can't see it in this shot. I caught his arm and with my legs and have him in a crucifix type position. He taps from the pressure I was doing on his wrist. So James got to work on his posture, but that's what you can see the success rate that I'm having by having this posture broken. So it's, lessons learned on both sides. I start to grab his elbows. You don't want their elbows standing or pushing on you. So I grab over the back. I start to go for a shin grab. Double shin grab. I do this when I'm tired and I can break someone's posture. It's a lot less energy than just bringing my knees to my elbows on my own, just by lifting my legs up. So I switch to rubber guard, start to go for the zombie, and then I'm in like a half crackhead control, half Oh, start to lock the shoulder. I felt the triangle coming, able to lock the shoulder for a dead orchard. So that's the extreme version of a lock shoulder. You can't really get out of that triangle version there. But James isn't doing too much, so I'm kind of able to play with him at will. He's got to control my arms more. I start messing with him, putting my hands all over him. See, I'm like, James, mess with my hands. Grab my wrists. I'm putting my throat in his fingers. I'm like, there you go. I'm trying to get up in his face, bump sweep him, change the game a little bit. So he starts pushing on me. He's just letting me grab his head and grab around his back. And I switch to Williams guard again, and I will start to attack his right arm. You'll see I'm putting the foot on the hip. I'm acting like I'm going for the omoplata in the triangle. See, I'm going over the head, but I want that arm that's pushing on my elbow. So it's a far side attack. If you know the Williams guard, going for the Omo type grip, but then I'm going for this arm lock right here. I have it grabbed with both hands. Kind of funky left hand grip, but my right hand was on the wrist. Back at it again, going for the posture breaking. So I like the over the back and the lat grab. Ooh, this is a stalling submission that I like to do. It's around the head and shoulder, and you grab around your leg. I learned it from watching Jean-Jacques Machado do it. It's like what to do when someone drives their head down to the ground and stalls. I don't see a lot of people do it. It's very effective. You can choke people very easily in their guard. One of my black belts, Donnie Blue, has like a guard system almost based out of it called a Blue Guard. It's effective. Anyhow, trying to control his elbow. It's one good way to keep him close. I go for the cross-side shin grip. Trying to grab both. There we go, so I could take a breath here. I did 3 rounds of 8 minutes back-to-back, so this is my third. So I'm taking a breath here, got his posture broken, and then if they slide out like this, they start to put themselves into locked shoulder positions they can't quite pull out of. I can move one leg while still holding on to the other, and it shoots triangles and arm locks like this, like you're seeing here. I like this grip. I'm probably going to go for Virata Plata. His arm's not quite in, so he starts to pull out. I'm going to fight from this position here. He's not really advancing, so I'm not attacking him too hard, messing with his underhook sweeper here of butterfly guard. His head keeps coming down, so I chose to cow catch it instead. I don't really want to come up because of my knee and because I wanted to tap him from the guard, but I want him to come back into my guard so I can guillotine him. I end up staying up top and finishing it because he won't come back. That's all right. I can only force the guillotine from bottom so much. Take it from mount if they give it to you. Back to training. Lets me grab right over his back again. He's got no arm control, and he needs to control my arms and get his posture. So that's the name of the game, posture training and arm locks. Thank you for watching.